Okay guys, welcome back to our RB build. In the last video we got our short block assembled and now we have to do some dressing. We have to get it all ready for the head. Okay guys, I want to start this episode by installing the rear main seal. So I took the rear main seal plate and I put a new rear main seal in it. You just basically put it in until it bottoms out on this on these 4 tabs. Metal side should be facing inward, and it'll actually come with a little bit of grease already on it from Nissan. So they're fairly cheap. I think it was 20-30 bucks for the seal. Don't quote me on that one though. And we're just going to take some silicone, put silicone around the edge, and that's what's going to seal it across the actual block. So let's do that now. So now that's in place, we're going to hit it with the ratchet where we can. So probably only a couple of them will actually be able to get hit with the ratchet, but okay guys, so this is our temporary oil pan. We might use it. It will take some more work if we decide to use it. I welded this up just to have something more or less to test fit how big of a sump we can have and general shape of the engine, So if we want to use this, it's going to be for an external oil pump. So it's going to have a hole in the side with the pickup welded to that hole and fitting on the hole, and a soft line coming up to the oil pump. So let's flip this over and we will keep going. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take all of our studs, we're going to put them all facing the same direction. One side has Allen. It's actually a 3/16 Allen fitting on the one side. And the other side's flat. So the flat side we're going to want to put some grease on. So just kind of, what I do is I just put them on a bunch, And when you go and take them out to install them, just make sure the one you grab already has some grease on it. And if it doesn't, just put some on. So there we go. These are 10mm bolts. The RB26 would have 12mm. So keep that in mind. So this is another difference. All RB25s, all RB20s, and all RB30s have 10mm studs. All RB26s have 12mm studs. When you build a fast RB25 or RB30, you will go to 1/2-inch ARP studs. That is the standard. So, okay guys, so another important step here, we're gonna put moly lube on the top threads. These are the ones that are the most important. These give us a uniform torque. So we'll lube these up, and I'm gonna bring the head over and just set the head into place. We'll get all those, head nuts torqued to spec. And then we actually have a semi-complete long block, so we can start dressing it and get everything going on it. So, all right. All right, that looks pretty good. Another thing I want to show you guys is, if you hold the cam at top dead center, you see these bolts are actually easy to get to. That's how you know it's at top dead center. Regardless if the cam gears are on or not, when you see these cutouts right over the bolt, this one's a hair off, this one's almost exact. You can see how perfect that lines up. Okay guys, I know I've been sharing a lot of tips with you, but another one, when you're done with your torque wrench, take it all the way out. Go down as low as it goes. So that takes the tension off the spring, and it'll ensure that your torques are accurate. So the 2 things you need to have an accurate torque are going to be a good lubricant on the threads, and we're also going to need our torque wrench to be either calibrated or hopefully at least turned all the way down when you're not using it. So those are things that definitely help you have a more accurate torque. These guys were 80 foot-pounds with 3 steps according to our ARP directions. So next up, we can actually ensure that the cam caps are torqued to spec. Okay guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in the cam seals here. So we're gonna loosen up these 4. And we can always retorque those aren't a big deal. So pull that up, push the seal all the way in where it looks like it's supposed to be. Put these screws back in place, and then we'll torque them. Okay guys, so we are gonna retorque these now that we have the cam seal in place. So again, just run it up to the same torque as you put the rest of them at. The next step is going to be putting in these half moons before I put the valve cover on. What I always do is I always put a little silicone on these, right? And then I just drop them in place. And when I do that, I put the valve cover on almost right after, because that will hold it so that it's nice and flat. So again, just put a little bit of silicone on there, and I'm just gonna put it just like that. And this might seem crazy that we're putting the valve covers on already, but it's good to keep the engine all sealed up, right? We don't want crap getting in there. So okay guys, so something that I didn't do yet that needs to be done really when you put the head on is to install the, they're called the head auxiliary screws. These are the screws that go on the corners of the head. They're little 10 millimeters. So put that in, we'll put that guy in, and we're just gonna snug those up, tighten them up. I think I have a little wrench that I can use for those. We have our water pump here, or I guess it's not really a water pump anymore, but this is our water pump block off. So I had Swoops, he shaved the, whoa, lighting is awful. Hold on, let's see if I can change this. There we go. So this is our water pump block off. Basically he welded in, so the way Swoops welded in the little piece where the shaft would be, that allows us to bypass the internal water pump and go right to our external high volume electric pump. I'm actually going to put this water pump on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the bolts out, and I'm just going to clean off the surface, make sure both surfaces are clean. I'm going to silicone them, and I'm going to put this on. Okay guys, so this is a really simple process. Just like we did our rear main seal cover, we're just going to apply a whole bunch of RTV here. I use ultra gray for most stuff. You normally use the black for the water, or the oil pump, I'm sorry. Alright, so now comes the fun part. I'm going to grab a screw. I'm going to line this up. Oh man, I'm getting stuff all over. So okay guys, simple as that. We have the bolts in. I'm just going to drive them down. Okay guys, we're just going to tighten these 3 bolts now. So these guys just go. And this one. What is going on with that one? That one looks like it's a little bit, there we go. All right. This is where we're at so far. So we got our alternator installed. This is the OEM one. We're going to do something with that. We don't know what yet. We are still waiting on our thermostat. We could put on our intake manifold temporarily. So I don't know if I've said it in videos before, but we're actually getting a new intake manifold. We're getting one from Plasma Man. It's on order. They said it's going to be 5 to 6 weeks for us to get it. If somebody at Plasma Man's watching this and they want to rush our order, that'd be great.